Within this video, I'm going to demonstrate how, to our own detriment, millions of Black people have been brainwashed to participate in the mental enslavement of our own children, and most don't even realize it. It's a significant part of our mental enslavement. The mental enslavement of our people is often overstated, but rarely fully realized by our people. Whether you are a Black person living in Africa or living abroad throughout the diaspora, most of us have heard the declaration that we must emancipate our minds from mental slavery. It's a quote from a speech made by Marcus Garvey during the 1930s. The quote became popular when Bob Marley included it within the lyrics of a song called Redemption Song, which was released on October 7, 1980. Although the quote is well known, it's most often stated by many of us to merely sound conscious. But rarely are there efforts by the speaker to bring those words to fruition. The reason why is because most Black people don't even have a mental reference of what our mental enslavement actually looks like. Because we've normalized the process by which we are being systematically mentally enslaved. Because we have normalized it, millions of us even actively participates in our own mental enslavement. Many Black people even functions as gatekeepers of our mental enslavement without even realizing it. I realize that sounds ridiculous, but when it's gradually done down generational lines, people can be socially engineered to do things that are against their own interests without them even realizing it. Many can even be made to function as wardens of their own mental prisons and not even realize it. Within this video, I'm going to demonstrate how Black school teachers, Black school administrators, and Black parents unknowingly participates in the mental enslavement of Black children without even realizing it. Education is much more than a matter of developing a student's cognitive abilities in math, language, and science. It is the process of imparting information, knowledge, and values which best enables students to realize their highest potential. Studies show that how students behave is greatly influenced by what they're taught to believe about themselves as well as their group. Therefore, it is extremely important that children be taught of the many contributions made by their particular group. Students can then reference these messages about their particular group to acquire their self-image and assess their potential and capabilities in relations to the information. Therefore, an educational setting that properly nurtures the aspiration and potential of a child is one that includes the many contributions made by the child's particular race or group. This is a basic human need, and it is the basic that children use as a point of references for their potential. It is particularly important for children living under difficult circumstances to know about and be able to identify with members of their group who can help them to feel good about being members of the same group. This basic human need is being deliberately denied from Black students. For most Black students, their white governed schools are in fact the places where they first experience the implication that there's something lesser about being born Black. Excuse me. Because most Black racially affirming facts that comes from learning of our many societal contributions made by Black people throughout history are being deliberately withheld from Black students throughout their entire educational development. And this is by deliberate design. The white educational system's failure to adequately provide Black students with a racially affirming curriculum, as it routinely does so for white students, is actually essential for maintaining white social dominance over Black people. Because for a ruling class to maintain its position of social dominance over its subordinate oppressed population, They must condition the oppressed from a very early age to accept their own subordinate status and to adhere to the authority of the dominant culture. To do so, the education given to the oppressed from the time that their minds are young and most impressionable must be the type that denies them of a racially affirming education. When the oppressed population are denied of a racially affirming education, this conditions them to perceive themselves through a false inherent subordinate identity that makes them more accepting of their subordinate status within a society dominated by their oppressors. It literally psychologically assigns them to a subordinate status within the society. When the oppressed population is denied of a racially affirming education, even the brightest among them may have little of any hope of mentally extracting themselves from their assigned low dominated position within the society. Is truly mental slavery. White social engineering scientists describes this nefarious practice as merely instilling a value system into the collective subconscious minds of Black students that makes them grow up adhering to the authority and existing infrastructure of the white dominant society. Simply put, it makes them grow up more compliant with white dominance over their lives. It is so effective that it causes many to even prefer white dominance over their lives. White social engineering scientists justifies this unethical social engineering practice by saying that people are inherently tribal and do not normally accept the long-term dominance of other racial groups over their lives. This is especially true of the racial group furthest from the dominant group. The ruling white class deems it as being a governmental duty to protect his nation's position of white dominance over the Black population by socially engineering us during our education development. This disclosed social engineering scheme meets that agenda. And Black school teachers, Black school officials, administrators, and Black parents unknowingly participates in the mental enslavement of Black children by supporting this agenda. I never said that what I teach would be easy for everyone to comprehend. I only said it would be the Black liberating truth that white oppressive forces fears the day that the Black masses learns. It's for this reason why my contents are the most shadow banned and the most impeded content on all social media platforms. It's the truth they don't want you to hear. We are being mentally enslaved. We don't even recognize how it's being done to us. Therefore, we participate in it. We're always going around saying we must emancipate ourselves from white mental slavery. But we participate in it. We don't even see our mental change. It's time to wake up to our reality. One love and peace.